Hello everybody! Today we're going to be looking at the oil rig map. This is the competitive version of the map, which is why it looks a little bit ugly in comparison. If you're interested in playing ranked Pavlov, I highly recommend you join the SMM Discord server in the description below. Without further ado, there's no better place to start than the callouts. Looking at the callouts here, this map is pretty simple, I will say. The only thing we're going to nitpick here is that long B, we're going to change that to upper. Other than that, just memorize these callouts and you'll know where everything is. To start off, we're going to do our T-sided B approach. The basic setup is to have 4 people going down main and 1 person going through upper. Bomb will always be going main. Let's pretend that you're the bomber. The first thing you want to do is smoke off the Z cross. Just like that. Boom. Saves your life indefinitely. This completely blocks off Z. They can't see anything you're doing. After you smoke off the cross and you approach up here, wait for the smoke. Somebody could be playing pillar and you won't know. Someone could be right here and they might try to swing you and get you while you're planting the bomb. So be sure to flash that spot, sprint peek, and then either plant the bomb or try to fight it. It all depends on the situation, really. Another nice thing that you can do while the bomber's trying to plant or as they're approaching, you can go and try to nade Z. When coming out of B and you're not planting, you can run through this smoke. If you know that nobody's going to be here, you can run through the smoke and get over here and take out quad. This will do upper a huge service, and you will be pushing the team ahead really well. So after you've smoked off Z's cross for a couple rounds, they're going to get tired of that, and they're going to start to switch up their strategy. And they're going to play trickier spots like Ninja over here. If they're low on eco, they're just going to grab a knife and try to stab you as they hear you running through. Or they'll play on this corner over here and wait for you to run out and blast you. They could play under here and just wait for you guys to come out. Boom, boom, boom. But upper should be taking care of that. It's very important to note that vents is pen. Other than this block here, everything on vents is pen. All of the top side as well. This little spot here. Even on the side here. It's all pen. So be very careful on vents. Upper will destroy you if they see you. And lastly, be careful running through the cross smoke trying to throw them off because one of them might be trying to hide over here. Lucky for us, there's ways to combat these little spots. Starting with Ninja, we can throw a grenade off the wall. It bounces back, completely blows them up. That's a great grenade that you can throw to counter Ninja. You can, if you even miss a little bit, you can get tags. You'll know they're nearby. To take out that corner over there, you just want to throw a flashbang. Boom. Got them. To deal with stairs, you can just sprint peek, see if they're there. Oop, they're there. Throw a flashbang. And then boom, they're dead. But make sure to always call your flashes. If you throw this flashbang and then you blind upper, that's on you. You need to tell everyone on your team that you're throwing a flashbang so that they don't just come out the corner. Oh boy, I'm about to get him. I can't see. That's your fault if you do that. So don't do that. Silly. Alright, to put it all together, this is how you're going to do your bomb approach on B site. You're going to cook your nade, throw it in smoke cross. You're going to check stairs, clear. You're going to check vents, clear. You're going to check corner, clear. Then, you're going to flashbang over this pillar. Boom, sprint peek, safe, plant. If it's not safe, get ready for a fight. Let's pretend that instead of going main, you decided to help your team out by going to upper instead. As you're coming through upper, always hug this right side wall. Because if you're on this side, they can come from any point of these stairs and you won't see them coming. They could hit you from vents. They could do all this stupid stuff. But if you're hugging this wall, you're going to see them first. Boom, got them right away. You know, that's what's going to happen. Just always hug this wall. It will keep your life intact. Coming out of upper, if your teammate smoked the cross, this is what it's going to look like. You're completely safe from Z, even in upper. You're going to have to be dealing with quad, though. This is your arch nemesis. And as long as you don't have to worry about Z over here, this is all you got to focus on, really, is getting rid of quad, or at least surviving quad, taking out vents if they're trying to murder your team from there, and taking out this stairs fence. It's quite dangerous to swing 2 guys at once, though. So in upper, you're going to want to be sprint peeking like this a lot, making sure you know where everyone is beforehand If you see vents, tell them that they're at vents. If you see quad, just be like, yep, they're quad. Just do this first, just to get a good sense of surrounding on where the enemy is playing. When you're in upper, don't try to throw any flashbangs. You're just gonna blind your entire team. It's not helping anyone. So just don't throw any flashbangs. If you're running across upper and you make it to here, this is your safe point. From here, quad can't hurt you. This side of pillar can't hurt you. You're safe. But if you keep holding this spot, this is just a one and done zone. You're just gonna get one pop if you're lucky, and that's it. Do not make a habit out of holding this spot. It's not gonna really get you anywhere. Now we're gonna move on to the CT defense of B. One of the first things you want one of your teammates to do on B site when defending is to smoke off main. Get that smoke in. That really hinders the T side from being able to come out. They're completely blocked. It opens up opportunity to hold vents here and just kind of blast them as they come out, because you will see them before they see you. Or you can hide in ninja if you're on low eco and just go through the smoke, hide in it maybe, just lurk a little bit in there, meander in there a little bit, and you might get an easy kill. There's quite a few spots that you can hold on this side of B. Obviously, you can hold this Z spot. You can sprint peek it. Make sure you're counting how many guys are coming out. You can get a couple kills there. You have quad. On quad, your main job is to just be dealing with upper. You gotta help your team out, take upper out as easily as possible. You need to really work on upper. If you're keeping upper from pushing out, you're doing your entire team a service. You can play on pillar and sprint around these, just kind of get some spots, really look around here. It's kind of a closer up version of Z. You can play vents, like I said earlier, super nice when it's already smoked out. You can get a kill or two before they even know you're there. You can play stairs. This is kind of dangerous if upper pushes out. You need a good quad to be able to play stairs, but you might be able to catch someone off guard, maybe throw in a flashbang. This is another risky spot that you might only want to do to throw your opponent off. I wouldn't make a habit out of holding this spot or stairs, to be honest. A neat thing you can do if you know they're pushing really hard is to get a nice nade in. You can pop it over this, and it really takes them out if they're pushing. That just completely blows up the stairs. So if you can time that well, you can get an easy kill or at least a bunch of tags that confirm that they're going B. Something to note about quad is that if it's an A push, then it's your responsibility to go down through under and take them out through elbow. Or if you've been waiting here for a while and you're really not sure if it's gonna be a B, but we haven't gotten it confirmed that it's an A yet, you can sprint peek down here and really check and see if you can find any enemies that are slipping through underpass, just to see if you can get an A call early. If you do see someone here, you're likely to see multiple people, so I would be wary about swinging or attacking them. Simply letting your team know that they're going A does a huge service. If you really want to attack them, you can try to throw a flashbang, but I really wouldn't go for the pick. Instead, what you could do is wait for them all to run past and then go for the flank. So the next thing I'm going to do is mid, but the problem is I don't know mid. So I got my friend here, Vergil, to do it, and he's very epic man. Vergil has spent years grinding his way to the top of the board and currently sits at the #1 spot in ranked Pavlov. If there's someone you want to take advice from, it's Vergil.
So this is how you play mid. Your objective on mid is to just watch the OSHA push. So I think there's two ways to play mid. You can play it from Z, and if you're Z, you should just watch the OSHA push out. You need to watch if they drop OSHA, so then you can call out to your teammates that they're going underpass, and then that gives your A-long teammate the information that it needs to know. And if you're gonna play it from Z, all you should do is sprint peek, get intel, and if you see them pushing up, you should calm out to your teammates that they're pushing up mid. Maybe get a B teammate to help you out from Z. And all you should be doing is just sprint peeking, and once they get close enough, you should flash it. But there's another way to play mid. If you're an aggressive player, you could push up mid. You could play pushed up mid and fight aggro them. But this is a pretty risky spot because if the T sides are smart, all they need to do is throw one nade and then you kind of die. But there's like a workaround. If you sit back here, you can dodge the nade and then run up as quick as you can and catch them off guard. But I wouldn't recommend this. I wouldn't recommend this. I think playing Z is a lot easier and safer.
Only the cool dudes are allowed to do that part.
Yeah, I think if you have like really good aim and you're really confident in killing them, is you should push up mid.
Do you think the higher ranked players do that a bit more?
I think the best players, who play mid on oil rig, they sprint peek Z.
Oh, okay,
Some
it's
of
just
the-
like kids who want all the high KD stuff, they go for that.
Yeah, like some players, if like you want a lot of kills, you go mid, but it's easily counterable. So I don't think it's worth it. This is a way safer method, and I think like the better players play the sprint peek on Z. And here, the only thing that can really like dismantle like a mid hold is the bridge. Like you need to watch out for bridge. This is why you're sprint peeking all the time. You need to sprint peek. You need to find out if they're bridge, and once you see them bridge, you need to flashbang them. Dude, never dry swing unless you really have to. You should never dry swing. You should always sprint peek, flash, and then swing out. I think if they're going B and you see no one mid, you should give a call out to your A long teammate to watch your bridge for you, because there's a lot of players on this map that like to lurk on bridge. So I think it's always good for your A long teammate just to hold bridge or the mid push in general. I think that's like the best way, just to hold. One's holding bridge for you. You're in Z, holding B, and I think that's why mid has so much power on this map, because Z is literally the quick rotate from A and B. So, because for example, this is why I think also playing Z is better. If they're going A, you can see them crossing right here, and you can give the call out that they're going A. And then if they're going B, for example, you can watch the cross. You can throw pre-nades. You can throw a lot of pre-nades. Here's one. This is my favorite one. All you need to do, if you know they're going B, one of the most common smokes is the cross smoke. So all you need to do is just throw it, prime it, and then throw it. And then it'll just kill anyone trying to throw a pre-smoke right there. And I think that's just the best way. That's why I think mid has so much power on this map.
I didn't know the cross smoke had a counter. That's sick.
Yeah, you can, because that's the easiest way to throw the cross, because you can just bounce it off the wall. So if you just pre-nade it right there, they get killed. It's not that well known, so I think it's really helpful. And I think that's all I have to really offer on the mid hold.
Well then, let's move over to the other side.
Yeah, this is the one negative of playing Z. I don't have a nade, but if I did, this is why you should never push up mid, because all they need to do is just throw. They just need to throw a nade like that, and you're dead. That's why you should. I never push up mid. I don't want to lose my life like that. That's the negative bit. The one negative of playing from Z is that you can never see them cross in here. You can never see them cross into corridor, which is like the one negative bit. I don't think it's that important. I don't think corridor is that important to like to hold, because corridor just leads to B main anyways.
Exactly.
So it's not. It's like you're getting a small negative for a way bigger trade out of like preserving your life. If you wanted to play. Oops.
Oh, man.
I always. Anyways, cut that out. That's gonna be in the editing. T side mid. If they do push up mid, you should nade it. And if they don't die, I think I like playing this angle right here. It's kind of a pit, like a half peak. If they play on this corner, you can punish them really easily, and you can just cross here. I never like swinging wide like this, because it's kind of risky, because it gives them a lot of time. It gives them a lot of time to see you. Preferably, what I like to do is I like to get closer up and then try to do a fast swing into them and kill them. I think that if you're going to fight this bit, like I said, this is risky, but very rewarding if you play push down mid. Because if they don't die to the initial nade, they're playing a head peek. So like if they didn't die to the nade, their health bar is kind of meaningless, because they're playing on a head peek. So for the most part, if they're pushed up and you don't kill them by the nade, I don't think it's really like worth it to fight them, unless like you can win.
If you've gotten a kill from this side of mid and you killed the other mid, do you push up into their Z or anything?
It really depends. If I kill their mid player and I know their A long player is like if we're going A, they're doing an A push and I know my teammates pushing A long are holding the A long player, I like running up maybe, and just like flashing and playing on the close pillar right here, kind of lurking, and then just killing all the rotates.
That's where like everyone comes out of, is in Z.
And another way that's kind of good is if you smoke off Z, they have no info on where you are. So naturally, they're gonna walk into CT here. If you smoke off Z, they're gonna naturally want to get info to know where you're at on mid, so they're going to walk out to, they're going to start wide swinging into CT like this to find you. And that's when you can have a bridge player. All they need to do is throw one flashbang, and then the mid player is now fully exposed to CT. They don't have the cover of Z anymore, so they just die. I think that's like the best way to push mid. Smoking Z off, or if they push up mid, nading and trying to get the pick on them.
You can like really capitalize if you kill the other mid player.
Yeah, if you can kill the mid player and work up mid really quick, you can get a lot of value because the A-long player might be rotating to bridge. You can pick the bridge guy off. You can run into Z. There might be one ninja. You can kill ninja. You can kill the site players. You can kill event players.
Let's move on to our A-long.
You get a lot
approach.
of value off of killing the mid player. That's why it's so important to hold. That's why I think, like I said, it's always better to play into Z and never give up your life that easily. I think that's like everything I know or I have to say about mid.
Now that we've covered all of B site and mid, thank you Vergil, let's move on to our A-long approach. As you're approaching, you're likely going to have about 2 or 3 teammates, one with the bomb. The bomb always goes long, while the other teammates are going to go through mid and in under. When approaching this spot over here, be weary that someone will throw a grenade if they even have like the slightest idea that there's a chance you're going to go over here. So wait out, wait for the grenade to pop. It's going to be somewhere in this region. Once the grenade goes, you can sprint peek, see if you can check if there's anyone there. They're going to be checking from over here or on elbow. This stretch may seem dangerous, but in actuality, there will only be one guy defending A. That would be 3 or 4 of you versus 1 of him. He may try to smoke this off. He might be hiding over here. But once you get to this point, always throw a flashbang. Make sure you at least flash this area before charging out. He could be anywhere. As you're approaching A, if you see them sprint peek all the way in elbow, it's an easy thing to just go smoke them out. That's an option. Util is always there to help you out. Smoking them out, someone can defend this spot while the rest plant and do the real job. If you're lucky enough and have enough money, you can even throw a grenade in there just to really, like, take them out. Once your team gets the kill on A, immediately start typing to plant the bomb. You will be planting it right here in the open where every angle can see it except elbow. Unless explicitly told, like, you know, the only teammate you have alive is coming through elbow, then try to plant for his side. If you're not planting the bomb, a good idea would be to smoke Z and then see if you can pick one of them off as they come out, because they won't be able to see anything where they're going. And then you'll just be like, right here, pop, get one, you know? Smoking off Z can be very powerful. Just kinda gotta use your brain there. Once you've got bomb planted on A, the real game begins. Holding A can be kind of AIDS because there's so many different areas the enemy can come from. They can come from elbow. There will probably be like 3 of them coming from mid. And at least one of them will always try to go bridge. There's plenty of spots you can play post-plant. Just be sure to coordinate with your team to get rid of any unknown variables. If your team's going to be going A-long, and you're going to be going through under, then this is where you're going to be going. You're going to be going through mid. Watch out for the mid defender. They may or may not be trying to pick you off. They might just try to sprint peek. It depends on who's the mid defender. But you can go through under here. Hi, team. Nah, you won't see them yet. They're waiting out the nade. You're going to get through here. Always take the right. Boom. Now your team's still coming down long if you were quiet enough. Long defense doesn't even know you're here. You bumped into him here. You see him here or there or something, whatever. You get a nice flank on the enemy. It's simple pimple, you know? And of course, remember, if it's a 1v1 and the bomb's down and you're defending it, never show yourself until they start typing, or you hear their footsteps and they're about to clip. Never reveal your location until that last moment. You do not have to fight them at all. Even a 1v2, whatever. You do not have to fight them. You can hide in your spot. They don't know where you are, and it could really trip them up. Now let's talk about the A defense on CT side. The first thing you gotta know when you're defending A is that you can throw a grenade from right here, line it up with this line, just chuck it over, run in, whatever, and you will nade that spot, that glorious spot. But don't sit and watch the explosion. The point of the grenade is not to get kills. The point is to get tags. You will know whether they're coming without even having to peek them, which will give you an early call out to tell your team that you got tags on A. But at that point, you have to be aware that they might rotate because of how far back they already are. But most of what you're going to be doing on A is just sprint peeking this. Just doing this over and over again. You see a single footstep. You see a single, like, soldier. Don't peek again. You know they're there. You don't have to double check and make sure. you will just die. Do not do that. Just one and done, and then tell your team to run over as fast as possible, because B rotates take forever. I don't know what's inside their souls, but they turn into turtles as soon as they have to rotate to A. Now, holding A can be pretty hard because your goal isn't to kill all the enemies, it's to survive as long as you can. If they're approaching A and you see them there, your death is kind of imminent. You have to prolong it as long as you can, hold them back as long as you can. You can throw a smoke right there, pop it, then they won't be able to see where you are for a bit. They might try to run through it. If you're brave, you can try to get some kills there. Hiding here is a strategy, but it really is a one and done spot. Like, I wouldn't really recommend this. You'll just get killed. Like, you might get a kill and then die, and that's just not the point of your job on A. If you smoke, you might be able to just hide over here and get lucky they won't see you. If you hear footsteps, they're getting close, just like boom, flashbang, try to get a kill or two. But, just a suggestion. Alright, that's all I have for Oil Rig. Thank yourself for watching until the end, because there's a lot to be learned on this map. If you want me to make more map analysis videos like this one, just let me know. And remember that in the end, I'm just a McDonald's employee playing his silly gun game.